American thing you've ever seen in your entire life. It's Metal Wolf Chaos, played by Murphigator.
We good to go? You can just go ahead and start. The timer doesn't mean a lot for this. So, for anyone who has not seen this game before, this is Metal Wolf Chaos. It's a game that was only released in Japan, actually, as you can tell by the very Japanese menus. And we're just going to go ahead and let the intro play out here.
By the end of the first quarter of the 21st century, freedom was dead in America. Beginning with a large-scale military coup d'etat that erupted in various cities throughout the nation. The rebels seized power in all the central institutions of government. The entire nation appeared to have fallen completely into the hands of the coup d'etat forces. However, one final hope in opposing the coup d'etat forces remained. This final hope being the U.S. president himself. Michael Wilson, the 47th President of the United States, equipped with a special mobile armored ops suit developed in secret by the military, boldly waged his own personal war alone to take back America's freedom.
I'm pretty sure this is an accurate depiction of how this country works.
Yes, pretty much.
I've invited MV to be with us here so that he can verify that this is all stuff that's not just me speaking as an American, it's all real, you know. That's how it works.
Special ops suit, Jody.
It looks like a fancy party is about to start. This kind of party is a first for me. Mr. President?
Oh, God.
Okay, let's party!
Welcome to the White House.
All right, so that's our introduction to our protagonist, Michael Wilson. This nice lady talking to us is Jody Crawford, who is our assistant and resident sociopath. Yeah, FaceTime. FaceTime being bullets. So yeah, we're fighting the U.S. military because they're all rebels, I guess. Not real sure why. But they've decided that we've got to be impeached with violence. So anyway, at the start here, I'm just there's not a whole lot to do until a scripted event happens, so I just kill some stuff to get some money. Getting enough money is kind of important throughout the game, because I have to actually buy my weapons. There's a few you can pick up in stages, but most of those aren't very good. So anyway, this is a statue of Michael's father, so we're just going to go ahead and shoot at it for a while.
Stop it, Michael. Don't shoot at your father, Michael. You're making me sad, Michael. Have you forgotten your American soul?
Dad! Sorry! Forgive me!
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. President.
I've got $50 from Tim Anderson who says, Richard!
We haven't quite been introduced to Richard yet, but we'll get there.
It's true.
I'll be back.
All right. So now we have to go into this secret underground hangar, and so this is the main movement technique through the game. Usually the camera's not this messed up, but I'm doing it along the ceiling, so it looks, yeah, it's kind of hard to see. But anyway, this game has a boost bar that kind of depletes as you're boosting forward. But there's a quick boost that you can do diagonally, and the energy meter doesn't really know how to deal with that. There's supposed to be some guys that spawn here, but if I blow that up, then they can't spawn anymore because their spawn point doesn't
barrier has
exist.
been opened.
So it just skips that. So yeah, we have this secret underground hangar leading to Air Force One.
Well, looky here. More guests. Well, I guess they won't be voting for you next term.
Mr. President, taking in that Air Force One. Please be
Yeah, Jody has some pretty special dialogue, and probably one of the coldest ways I've ever heard of saying we're about to kill all of these people, but, you know, basic foot troopers are pretty non-threatening. They kind of just get mowed down. Again, this is kind of just waiting for stuff to happen. I have to wait for the Air Force One to spin all the way around before I can get in, so just blow some stuff up to get some money, because, you know, that's how you earn cash in the U.S.
Speaking of earning cash, I've got $10 from Josh the Funk Doc. He says, "Hi everyone, shame I couldn't make it there or donate more. Big shout outs to everyone in the Nest block, and I'm so glad to see George W. Bush and a giant robot finally make a marathon. Put this towards suplexing the train, because how has that not been met yet? As always, it's amazing to see what everyone can do and accomplish at these events, and I'll try my darndest to get to SGDQ next year. I have some ideas."
So, yeah, thanks, Funk Doc. So yeah, this was made in 2004, which was kind of the pinnacle of post 9/11 over patriotism. And yeah, I'm pretty sure this is accurate.
Doesn't the White House have a bat cave? That's what I was thought in
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
Kind of messed up the Lincoln Memorial, but... Alright, so now we're going to get introduced to Richard.
Like they were ever invited. They're definitely off your Christmas card list.
Michael!
So yeah, get used to hearing that.
It looks like this party is just getting started.
Yes, it is.
So yeah, Richard has some pretty fantastic laughs and dialogue, but we'll have to come back to him a little later.
Jody, update me as to the status of the nation.
The Pentagon, the United Nations, and all central government institutions have fallen into the hands of the Vice President.
Have they?
Mr. President, believe in your own justice.
Got it.
I'm sure your father would have told you the same.
Well, maybe before we shot at his statue.
Jody, how's my schedule look for today?
You've got a conference and dinner party at the Japanese embassy regarding wildlife protection.
It's pretty important.
Oh yeah. Sorry, but I'll have to cancel that. I'm heading out to save America. Can you let me know if I won't be able to make it?
Yes, Mr. President.
We've got our priorities.
To my beloved fellow Americans, good evening. This is an announcement from the Government Policy Promotion Department, your American justice and freedom supporter. First of all, what I would like to tell each and every one of you is this. Recent events were not a mere coup d'etat, but rather a revolution to correct the wrongs in the United States of America. To our regret, our nation is in a crisis situation. Since 2010, domestic terrorism problems have increased rapidly. Economic disputes originating from the exhaustion of fossil fuels and the sudden rise in unemployment due to the influx of large-scale immigration. Neither the current president nor the American government took actions to address these various problems. On the contrary, they have filled their own pockets adhering to terrorist cells. To correct this situation, Richard Hawk, Arizona insurrection hero and vice president of the old government and the U.S. military, rose to the task at hand. Much like our ancestors did, based in a belief of winning freedom, and based in the belief of an independent war, and based in the belief in this great nation. However, to our regret, an evil to disobey this belief exists in the United States of America too. And here is that evil. This villainous terrorist who first appeared in Washington and began his unjust rampage goes by the alias Metal Wolf. His current whereabouts are unknown. While all of America will be under martial law until Metal Wolf is caught, please do not confuse the issues at hand. Without fail, the U.S. military elite forces, with a combined strength of 1.5 million, promise to smash this unforgivable evil to pieces. This has been an announcement from the Government Policy Promotion Department, your special remedy for all kinds of evil.
So do you feel that's an accurate representation of American news media?
Yeah, well, it lacked advertising maybe, but
The
it
coup
seems
d'etat
pretty
army
accurate.
that occupies San Francisco still runs rampant and deprives 780,000
I'm curious to see where this is going now. I was really exhausted, but now I'm pretty high.
The uses at the base of their military activities are built around the town. Target areas where enemy forces are concentrated are dangerous, but you can weaken their morale by destroying enemy armies. Destroy all target areas, annihilate the enemy force, and make the liberation of San Francisco shine as a beacon of hope in your counteroffensive. This mission goes by the call name Metropolitan Recapture Operation from Cisco Sighted Road. Good luck and Godspeed.
Jody's dialogue is incredible. All right, so we did pick up one weapon that we're going to use in this, which is the Multi-Missile Launcher 8. It's the only weapon I'm actually going to pick up out of a stage that's useful, and it's going to help clean up some buildings here and whatnot.
Mr. President, how's the skydiving?
Not too bad.
San Francisco, occupied by coup d'etat forces, will be the starting point of our counteroffensive. And here's the starting grid.
Okay.
That's quite a gentlemanly landing, sir, befitting only of a U.S. president.
The gentleman in me goes off the clock at 5 p.m. And now I'm gonna take America back!
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, he is a working man. We got to have our limitations.
Annihilate the enemy army by destroying the target areas where the troops have amassed. Destroy all the target areas scattered throughout and take back the town.
Okay. So like I said before, this is the main movement
Mr.
mechanic. We're going to be using it a lot.
POWs are being transported in that cage.
I agree on
Destroy
that.
the cage with light firearms and rescue the people inside.
So I guess I should explain some of the heads-up display, which is in the top right. The bar that's continuously flashing overheat and not actually overheating is the boost bar, which again gets very confused. This is one of the big attacks that I'm going to be using a lot, is this stomp. It does pretty good damage to buildings, and at this point I don't have a lot of really damaging weapons, so it's important for clearing things quickly.
There are designated targets in each area. Destroy each target and blow the area to oblivion. Reinforcements come from the adjacent areas. When there are too many
But anyway, that's the energy bar.
try attacking
The
from another area. You can
green
call it
boxes in the
winning
top right are my health. Once below that, there's a green bar, which is kind of like a sub-health bar. And when that sub-health bar gets completely drained, I'll take 1
The target with the
point of
spinning
damage.
antenna is the enemy
So it's got a
communications facility.
limited regenerating
From
health
this
mechanic.
facility, when communications are made, large numbers of reinforcements join the battle. It's really a
Got a donation from Benjamin Jessen. Says $10. He says, I hadn't planned on donating more, but this game is too amazing. The president could give Senator Armstrong a run for his money. And also 15 from Max Rowe again. He says, this goes to the runner because America.
Well, if it isn't the pride of the United States military, 1 Abrams tank. I never thought they would join the fight.
Yeah, keep that pride of the military thing in mind for later. You know, it's not too important now. Where am I facing? Alright. So I use these cars to boost up a little bit so I don't have to re-jump. Very extremely minor time saver.
A timed self-destruct device is attached to the cage. Mr. President, the time limit self-destruct device has been activated. Hurry and destroy it.
So I should mention that we're supposed to rescue POWs throughout the game, but they're not really necessary. A lot of them are in cages that are pre-equipped with bombs, so like this is just gonna blow up, but you know, they'll be fine. We've got more important things to do.
Important things like a $50 donation from Christopher Graham, who says, "How do you like me now?"
We'll get to those later. But
And Timothy Traco asks, $15 he asks, Murph, you know it isn't the 4th yet, right?
soon enough. Alright, so I'm gonna go in a little out of my way to grab some extra money.
Making it a target.
Important
The building
for
was opened
later.
2 years ago on April 25th. It's named the Halcon Dinkai China Building. Each season it's decorated with gorgeous lights. Their Christmas tree tops it all. Over 800,000 people came to see it last December. For such a long time, I've been wondering how lovely that gorgeous building would look if it were destroyed. Bad for the owner, but hey, let's smash the hell out of it.
Jody, ladies and gentlemen.
The morale of the troops is rising due to the HQ installation. Destroy the HQ facilities first and eradicate their... Now that's what I expect from a U.S. president. Nice to see you on your feet. Uh-oh, Mr. President. Could this be a thank you for destroying the area? It looks like you're gonna receive a lovely present.
Alright, so here's our first boss. All of the bosses are named after athletes. Fortunately, we've got a super attack, and
Perfect display of your talents, Mr. President.
so
Not really, Toby. Nothing to get excited about.
Those annoying soldiers are coming in swarms. Shotguns with a wide firing area or machine guns with a high rapid fire rate are effective here.
all right.
Try out the weapons in your backpack as you roll. The enemy forces in San Francisco have been annihilated. Nice work, Mr. President.
Sure.
Job well
All in a
done.
day's work, huh, Mr. President?
Nope, we've only just begun. The fight will continue. As long as the America inside my heart is still alive.
We rescued San Francisco. There might have been some casualties, but don't worry
Mr.
about
President, the Information Management Department received an email that might interest you.
An email?
Actually, it's a sound file.
Play it for me.
Yes, boss.
We are seeking volunteers to oppose the coup d'etat forces. Awaiting response from fellow sympathizers.
The sound quality is terrible.
that. Come on, Maddie.
Could you try and contact the person who sent the email?
Sure, of course, boss.
Maybe America's faith in freedom hasn't faded just yet. And Jody, I'm taking back our country, going from west to east.
Go west. I mean, east, young man. Huh? Mr. President, we got a message from the Information Management Department. The coup d'etat forces are making an announcement on national television.
Connect me.
All right.
Dear fellow Americans, good evening. This is an announcement from the Government Policy Promotion Department, where the password is overflowing love and daily benevolence. Today, we bring you a most unfortunate bulletin. Last evening, the city of San Francisco suffered extensive damage at the hand of Metal Wolf, who suddenly appeared. In addition to slaughtering unresisting citizens, this heinous terrorist took citizens hostage and made an unjust demand for the release of violent criminals and the sum of $500 million. This vicious act could easily be the worst in U.S. history.
Wow.
Metal Wolf's pilot is meaner than Satan himself. And we will not permit him to get away with acts like this. We Americans will never yield to such evil. We Americans will obtain our own justice. Although martial law continues, my fellow Americans, please bear with our situation. To defend this lovable nation, let's lead the brave fight together. This has been an announcement from the Government Policy Promotion Department, where our motto, justice over theory, is your motto.
All right. So,
We've been made public enemy number 1. How about seeking exile or asking for help from other nations?
No, I'm the president. I can't be the one to start a war in this country.
okay.
I'll be the one to wage the war.
Mr. President.
Hey, Jody, update me on the situation in the West.
All right. So now this game gives us a little bit of freedom in where to go.
The enemy force is apparently carrying out covert military campaigns based in a ghost town in the Phoenix suburbs. The radar jamming facility for their secret defense is set up in the town. Metal Wolf's radar could be jammed. Please destroy all target areas in the above-ground buildings to knock out the radar jamming and avoid surprise attacks from the enemy. This mission goes by the call name My Darling Clementine Operation. Godspeed, Mr. President.
All right. So I'm going to do some shopping here. So in order to buy things in this game, you first have to invest in them in order to unlock them, and then you have to pay other resources to actually buy them. There's a whole lot of different and interesting weapons in this game, and I'm only going to be buying a couple. So these are, they're supposed to be rocket launchers, but they actually fire a cluster bomb. And it's kind of not very well thought through, because each of the cluster bombs does damage separately. So they're going to be really useful for the entire rest of the game, actually.
This place is pretty run down. Like a town in an old western. A radar jamming station is located here. The number of target areas and enemies seem limited. Let's mop this area up ASAP.
Jody, sorry, but these guys might slow me down.
Huh?
Major, Michael Wilson. You've tarnished the good name of the U.S. military and your reputation as a hero.
And now you'll die for it.
Whatever.
All right.
This is like starring in John Ford's My Darling Clementine. Wanna find out who gets to play Wyatt Earp?
Delivery is so good. All right, this is actually one of the more stressful missions in the game.
Western is fine, but
the way I play it.
Since you're surrounded now,
Yeah,
how
probably.
about heading for high ground?
So you're intended to blow up a whole bunch of things to remove these guys' cloaking devices. I actually can't target them, but fortunately these things dump fire anyway, so it's not really that concerning. That said, they've got some pretty powerful missiles that I want to not get destroyed by.
You! Shock!
Ah! How'd you let him get you?
It's actually kind of cool because they have different dialogue depending on what order you kill these guys in, so if you really want to, you
Mr.
can
President, 2 more
get some
enemy
pretty
missile
special
cowboys
dialogue.
still remain.
Yep, missile cowboys. Yeah, that's why I don't want to get hit by their missiles.
Ah, how stupid!
I never thought you'd take on your former unit. Have you lost your compassion and dignity?
One special mobile armor enemy is left.
So one feature of this game is that you can shoot down enemy missiles, and he's doing that to mine.
You for that.
Yep.
Mr. President, the fuselage damage rate is above 50%. Mr. President, I love people who work smart.
She just wanted us to know. So another thing about these cluster bombs I didn't mention is they actually set enemies on fire, which is why his health was draining. I'm not really sure where he went now. There he is.
You really are that good.
There's all the stuff we were supposed to blow
All
up.
enemy special mobile armor units have been put 6 feet under, Town Marshal. How's it feel to be an Old West hero?
Not too good. I'm not the hero type. I'm just doing my job as president.
I'm pretty sure it's in the description.
By the way, Jody, what happened with yesterday's email?
The Information Management Department succeeded in contacting the source of the email.
Really? Let me hear it.
I am the one who formed the Resistance to put a stop to Richard Hawk and his recklessness. Right now I'm aiming for a united uprising and seek volunteers. Metal Wolf, we eagerly await your rampage.
Great. They haven't sold out hope yet.
Mr. President, I haven't been this happy since that supermarket going out of business sale when I was searching for my favorite candy and I found the last box all covered in dust at the back of the rack. And the expiration date was still good.
Oh, I know the feeling, Jody. Brief me on the next battlefield.
Sure, Mr. President.
Thank you, Jody. I'm very glad.
Wow.
Operating out of a massive helicopter base constructed in the Grand Canyon, enemy Army helicopter units continue to oppress the American West. The target area terrain is sure to be confusingly fierce because the enemy Army has taken over guerrilla bases from the Arizona insurrection days. Please watch your steps so you don't fall into the 1-mile-deep ravine. Use artillery with long-range firing effectively and destroy all the target areas. This mission goes by the call name Operation Arizona, blood and gunpowder smoke. And Godspeed, Mr. President.
All right, so fortunately we don't need to buy any more stuff, so we can just get started here.
That's a shame because Brad Gilk sent you $20 to the cause and says, believe in your own justice.
Oh, I believe.
You better believe.
The enemy is building a military base in the Grand Canyon. Doesn't this remind you of the Arizona insurrection days?
No, I don't remember anything. Except the smell of blood and gun smoke.
Awkward pauses are way too powerful.
All right, let's rock and roll.
Mr. President, the view certainly is grand, but stop with the don't look down joke, please.
I'm not sure when we made one, but we'll go with it. So anyway, this mission is pretty dangerous since I have to do the quick boost thing over the Grand Canyon, and if I fall, I will die very badly. That said, this mission's a little long, and it's mostly just destroying targets, so it would probably be a good time to catch up on some donations.
Sounds good. I've got Ian Capper coming in with $50 with a question about a conspiracy theory. He says, so if this game takes place in 20XX, and we're on President 44, the 47th president could happen as soon as 12 years from now. If there's a Michael Wilson up for election at that time, this game may have just predicted the future. I'll be right back. Building a bunker beneath my house to watch this immaculate American justice and safety. I'll $50 to the runner's choice. Thank you, Ian.
My choice is the sketch glitch.
Gotcha.
I'm curious.
And while we do have some time, I'd like to remind you, you're watching Summer Games Olympic 2014. It's a marathon benefiting Doctors Without Borders, put on by Speedrunners Archives, the premier community for video game speedruns, completing games quickly as possible through extensive planning, practice, and knowledge of game mechanics and glitches. You can check out the Twitch team at twitch.tv/team/SDA. And Speedruns Live, the best site to race video games online against others. Players of all skill levels are welcome to join, whether you'd like to become competitive or just race with casual with your friends. You can go to that front page, speedrunslive.com, for more information and to watch a wide variety of speedrun streams. Also like to plug a couple of donation incentives coming up. We've got Pokemon Snap, which still needs a little bit of money to get donated into. And there's a donation bid war between Metroid Prime 1 and Metroid Prime 2. So if you've got a preference on which game you'd like to see, go ahead and get your donations in now.
Alright, so this is one trick that saves quite a bit of time in this game. Anytime there's a slanted wall, you can just kind of boost up it.
Mr. President, a fresh supply of troops is coming.
So you're Metal Wolf, eh? Then you can die for Sir Richard.
Alright, so here's Castina, the second boss. But we don't actually have to fight him, so we're just gonna keep going.
Another thing to note, the Humble Bundle has provided a sale of games from our marathon. All the proceeds go directly to Doctors Without Borders. You can check out the sale at humblebundle.com/SGDQ, and you can check out the list of games there. Some of the games on the list, we've got Amnesia, Machine for Pigs, Giannis' Twisted Dreams, Rise of the Overlord, Psychonauts, as well as several others. Check that out, like I said, at humblebundle.com/SGDQ.
Another great thing about this game is that it lags a whole lot. And any of the rocket launchers, if you fire them during a lag frame, will just not shoot anything. They'll still use ammo and have the refire time, but they won't actually fire.
The enemy will wash up somewhere in the California Bay. No, actually, they'll get stuck in the Hoover Dam.
David Sherrill sends $15, says $15 for the rare politician that actually gets things done.
Finally, peace will be brought to Arizona. War really doesn't suit these lovely surroundings.
Jody, nor someone as lovely as you.
Sure, whatever. Nice work, Mr. President.
So yeah, just randomly deciding to hit on his secretary and then getting shot down big time.
And conveniently providing me with a segue. 35 from Sean
Any
Brady.
word from the Resistance?
Oh, let me hold for the cutscene,
Yes,
then we'll go that
I'll
way.
play it for you now.
Metal Wolf, we applaud and appreciate your efforts. Our membership has started to rise, one brave soul at a time. I'm putting all my efforts into our activities, hoping that the day we revolt will come soon.
I'd like to see that day, too.
Yeah. I feel like a mother hen here.
Okay, Mr. President. You best hurry and get to the next battle theater.
Alright. You're good.
Yeah, Sean says, this is too American. Here, have my money. It's not 500 million, but it's a display of my patriotism. Hashtag, whatever.
Information that leaked out regarding some millionaires who are amassing capital to fund the resistance. While the number of soldiers equipped with heavy firearms is great, if you pay higher attention to their attacks, they're no threat to your mobile armor. The verticals in this battle theater are violent. Consider the advantages and disadvantages in the geographical features as you destroy all the target areas. This mission goes by the call name Bring Fashion Back to the Streets. Good luck and Godspeed, Mr. President.
All right, so Richard has placed a bunch of bombs in San Francisco, and we have to disarm them. And by disarm them, I mean just detonate them and not really be concerned with the consequences.
Enemy explosive devices are planted all over the city of Beverly Hills. Destroy all the bombs and liberate the town.
Roger that.
This is DNN's Peter McDonald reporting. What you're looking at is the heinous terrorist Metal Wolf as seen from the air. Just what will become of Beverly Hills and its stately mansions where the streets smell of money? Stay tuned as this camera and I bring you all the news you want to know.
A news heli?
Forget it. I'm going on ahead. It's a bit annoying, but not enough to call for aspirin.
Bombs have been laid out all over town. Clean up the bombs while destroying the radar jamming station. That's a radar jamming station. If you destroy it, the bombs will surely... Mr. President, that's a bomb. If approached carelessly, it will detonate. Destroy it from a safe distance.
All right, so yeah, here's what we're gonna do. All right, we triggered it, and we're going away. And it blew up. Sorry, everyone in that building.
Oh, this looks promising. The pride of the U.S. military. Blackhawks raise their ugly heads.
Gonna need a little bit of help with the couch this one here. David J. sends 55 our way. He says, I call this donation. Can I get a drum roll, y'all? Operation Take My Money for Great Drama. Put it towards acting. Put it towards acting out the opera in Final Fantasy VI. Andrew Smethurst sends $50. Says, you guys are definitely not roast chicken. So glad I have the afternoon off and so glad I'm getting to see Metal Wolf Chaos. Money to Runner's Choice. We got something from Carrie Fry. $50 says, vote Murphigator 2016 for the America in our hearts. Dominic Nguyen sends 50. He says, now that's what I expect from a U.S. president. Jonathan Moritz sends $40. Says, freedom intensifies. We got Lars Rennie Pedersen sends $50. Says, I'm Norwegian, but I haven't forgotten my American soul. I'll vote for you next year, President Senpai. Freedom!
Yeah, some of these bombs they decided to put on trucks and drive at people. So.
Metal Wolf has infiltrated the garden of a big mansion, the home of international superstar Money Money Gold. What business does Metal Wolf have with a $3.2 billion man? Maybe he's going to take out a loan.
Yeah, that... Okay.
There's a pretty big one from James Maki, $200. Says, this is absolutely the best thing. Goes to Runner's Choice.
All right, so now that we've disarmed all the bombs...
Control of the entire town. Any further reporting is too dangerous. Our news team is seeking refuge. But our coverage of these events will continue. Because, yes, the pen is still mightier than the sword. This has been Peter McDonald for DNN.
Oh, Peter.
I'm sure those wealthy fat cats will repair the damage, making their homes even more beautiful than before. Nice work, Mr. President.
Job well done. All right.
Jody, what's the situation on the ground across America?
In the West, areas where the Army is pulling out are on the rise. But across the nation, the situation isn't so good.
Don't worry. I'll free the whole land soon enough. Any email from the Resistance?
Yes, there is. The man's voice is as cool as ever. Please have a listen.
Metal Wolf, thank you. Our membership is steadily on the rise. More reliable, trustworthy sympathizers have joined our fight to revolt. The day will come soon. When we're ready to rise up, I'll be sure and let you know.
The Resistance leader sure is standing tough, isn't he?
Tough as nails. Now I'll head out to liberate the West.
Alright, so we got one last mission in the western half of the U.S. Gotta go to Alcatraz.
On the prison island Alcatraz, only 3 kilometers offshore from San Francisco, the enemy force is setting up a huge electromagnetic Alcatraz cannon to combat terrorism.
Alcatraz cannon.
All the shelling in the desert region has implanted fear into the hearts of the people on the west coast. The shelling is directed at keeping the dissidents in check. By destroying the energy tanks around the Alcatraz cannon, you can stop its operation. The current is so strong that no one has ever escaped from Alcatraz. Please be careful not to fall in the ocean. This mission goes by the call name Smash the Island Prison. Good luck and Godspeed, Mr. President.
They can't all be winners.
That was almost casual.
And the explosions to match.
Well, we may be disappointed with Jody there, but we're not disappointed with Alex Terry, who sends $150 our way, saying huge props to all the runners for a great SGDQ. Been a great distraction from work. Here's hoping IT doesn't figure out where all the bandwidth is gone.
The Alcatraz cannon.
How original. Richard, you'd never make it on Madison Avenue.
Stop and surrender, Metal Wolf.
Surrender?
If you fail to comply, the Alcatraz cannon will zap you back west coast.
Will it now? Not if I zap it first.
Mr. President, the Alcatraz cannon just started to recharge.
I'm on the move. I'll smash it faster than a Florida recount.
Sick burns.
Nice. Wow.
So while everyone was laughing, I skipped like 3/4 of the stage.
That's the heinous terrorist Metal Wolf, as seen from the air.
Yeah, there's a nice wall you can boost
take over the
up
Alcatraz cannon and destroy the West
not really
Coast.
well thought through.
DNN is coming to you live and exclusively as these events unfold.
Forget him and keep your mind on the mission, Mr. President. Mr. President, the energy recharge rate of the Alcatraz cannon is rising. If you destroy the energy...
Oh no! The final fortress has been demolished! So, the U.S. military has had something up its sleeve.
Those who interfere will be eliminated.
Alright, well, we're not too worried about that guy. We're just
The energy tanks in the surrounding area are a key part to the Alcatraz cannon. Please destroy everything before the energy recharges.
So you're intended to go around the entire island and blow up a bunch of targets. It even labels them as targets and claims there that they're mandatory to beat the mission, but these ones up here are the only ones that actually are. So, yeah, pretty great mission.
This cannon kind of reminds me of my phone. You don't want to charge it.
Shifting to self-destruct mode.
Wait a minute! Before Metal Wolf could seize the area, under military orders, the soldiers blew up the Alcatraz cannon. Simply amazing! The U.S. military gets the job done no matter what.
This confused journalist better double-check his facts.
Today, once again, U.S. military forces were dealt a lethal blow by Metal Wolf. But thanks to these heroes in our military, Metal Wolf and his conspiracy have been held in check. Our hearts go out to the men and women who sacrificed their lives in battle, and to their families as well. Any further reporting is too dangerous. Our news team is seeking refuge. Be the first to know as we continue pursuing Metal Wolf, because yes, the pen is still mightier than the sword. This has been Peter McDonald for DNN.
Talk about biased reporting. It's exhausting to listen to. But at least the West Coast is safe now. Excellent work, Mr. President.
All right. So we've rescued the entire west half of the U.S.
Matsupanku sends $15 with a shout-outs to the America
Jody,
inside
what's the
Murphy-Gator's heart.
situation across America?
The coup d'etat forces have retreated from the western states.
Yes!
This should kick the resistance movement into high gear.
I can't wait.
You got a voicemail from the resistance, Mr. President.
Metal Wolf, thanks to your efforts, the stage is set for a united revolt in the West. I'm considering moving ahead. However, before this takes place, I'd like to meet you in person to talk. I'll contact you with the details later.
Mr. President, what do you think?
I've been wanting to meet him too.
So let's get you two together.
Sure. But before that, we'll head east. Until we take back all of America, there's no rest for the wicked.
You said it, Mr. President.
Well, Jody, at long last, we head east. We'll reach the East Coast in a flash.
Metal Wolf. Planning on wiping out New York this time? You enemy of the people, I, Richard Hawk, won't let you get away with it. I, Richard Hawk, will uphold American justice without fail.
Yeah! Suck my missile punch! Get up!
I won't lose. And the reason is Richard Hawk am the last great American hero.
How do you like me now?
Let's rumble. Eat my flame of justice.
You got me!
Justice is always victorious in the end. Long live the USA!
He just blew up half New York, but we're not
I'm
going to worry
happy
about
with
that.
this. I'm totally okay with this.
Good evening. This is an announcement from the Government Policy Promotion Department, where freedom in the United States wasn't built in a day. Good news, finally. Finally, the evil has been crushed. This evening, Metal Wolf, who suddenly showed up in New York, was thoroughly beaten to a pulp by Richard Hawk, piloting a special heavy mobile armor unit. He annihilated the evil. Occurring at the same time from a confidential covert operation. We have also learned that underground terrorists and Metal Wolf sympathizers in hiding were captured in succession all around the country. Although martial law will continue until we are sure that your safety can be completely secured, for today and today only, let's celebrate this victory. This has been an announcement from the Government Policy Promotion Department, your Freedom Point Man.
Yeah, I guess we were beaten in a cutscene.
Metal Wolf crushed? And those phony visuals. What's with that? The special effects don't even beat a Hollywood B movie.
Richard's up to his old tricks again.
Mr. President, according to the Special Intelligence Group, news from the anti-coup d'etat forces has ceased. Actually, we've lost contact with the resistance leader too.
We have?
It appears all the resistance activities have gone south.
Jody, those that died are imposters. I am still here.
So?
Believe in your own justice. I won't lose to that false prophet. And the reason is because I'm the President of the United States of America.
Mr. President!
There's no time for self-pity. Jody, get me up to speed on the situation in the East.
Okay, so off to the east. I'm going to start in Chicago.
The enemy force has concentrated strength in the center of Chicago. Intelligence's most educated guess is that the purpose is to re-educate the citizens and strengthen their support for the vice president. Though there are many target areas, it is possible to annihilate the enemy by effectively using the train to move from building to building. Destroy the target areas and let the citizens wake up to their town with its tranquility restored. This mission goes by the call name Chicago Daybreak. Good luck and Godspeed, Mr. President.
So normal now.
She lost her touch.
She's saving
Just
it.
an off day.
Yeah.
Enemy forces occupy Chicago. Destroy all the target areas and liberate the town of Chicago.
Copy that.
Well, if it isn't the heinous terrorist, public enemy number one, Richard! Oh, you've done excellent work, Michael. How about a reward to show my appreciation? Poison gas will annihilate the city in 5 minutes. And Metal Wolf will be blamed for the slaughter of Chicago. Have a nice day. Or not, Michael.
Each target area has started up their poison gas controls. If the density of the poison gas exceeds a... What's that?
Coming to you live from the skies over Chicago, this is DNN's Peter McDonald. Using poison gas as his weapon of choice, Metal Wolf seeks to obliterate the city of Chicago. That coward! Even cruelty has a limit. But rest assured, I have faith that the U.S. military will put a stop to this.
That journalist is up to his old misinformed tricks again. Please hurry, Mr. President.
Alright, so this is another destroy every single target in the entire map mission.
Has gone down, but don't let...
Donations ahoy then?
Yeah, donations.
Good, I've got a couple of related ones actually. Taku sends $15, says this is for an awesome SGDQ so far. I'm glad to see my favorite winners here. Here's $15 for Gilder to say, hello, hello, hello. And if that's not enough, Skydragon sends $50 our way and says, I'll donate another 50 Freedom Bucks if the entire couch and audience yells out, hello, 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 in unison. So everybody, 1, 2, 3. Hello. Thank you very much. Let's see, then we got 35 from Nicholas Bray, who says, great work, really enjoy the runs and stream, even if 3 of my devices keep timing out. Luckily my phone copes okay. Cheers from New
The
Zealand.
defense strength is high against live ammunition.
Sebastian Thiel sends 35, says, greetings from Germany, keep up the good work. Also keep on breaking my childhood games.
Yeah.
There are 5 target areas remaining. Hurry on to the next one, Mr. President.
Taco sends $40. Says, this is so patriotic. I can't stop saluting. Seriously, I can't stop. Send help. Put this toward Metroid Prime 1. Paul Varley says, 8 cents, $20. Says, my goodness, this game has just such crazy dialogue. Keep up the good work. Ryden 27 cents $40 says, hey, Raiden from France. Third donation on the marathon. Good job, everyone. Keep going. People need this. Thank you, Ryden. And just a reminder, you are watching Summer Games Done Quick 2014, benefiting Doctors Without Borders. And they are an international medical humanitarian organization created by doctors and journalists in France in 1971.
Measuring device.
Pause for a cutscene. No,
The
never
density
mind.
of poison gas in the city has already exceeded 50 parts per million. Metal Wolf is a villain down to his last mecha bolt.
Yeah.
I just noticed the president point up there.
Oh yeah, I turned those on in the beginning. They're pretty great. President point, based on destruction.
That drawbridge is a symbol of the city and its rivers. Seeing it open is
Freedom
quite
meter.
a sight, but if we can't cross, we'll be in a jam. Hurry up!
Yeah, they intend you to go around the other drawbridge, but again, quick boosting kind of breaks some of the game's
Way
physics.
to go, Mr. President! Whoa, you barely made it!
Kyle Weber sends us $10.69. Says, suck on my missile punch and my money. Keep up the fun and remember your American soul.
One target area remains. The final spot, Mr. President.
I missed one, apparently. Guessing one of the barrels didn't blow up properly.
While he finds that barrel, Hell to Pay sends $100 our way. It says,
The way
congrats
things are
on.
going, the gas will reach a fatal density in another
We gotta wait
3
for the
minutes.
announcer then. Which is good because he put dramatic
Metal Wolf
pauses
won't
into his
even give us enough
donation
time
fund.
to make instant noodles. An utter nightmare. The U.S. military has been demolished once again by Metal Wolf. However, his plan to gas the town ended in failure. Could it be that the hand of God reached down to save us? Uh-oh. I've just looked into the eyes of Metal Wolf. Any further reporting is too dangerous. Our news team is seeking refuge. But our coverage of these events will continue. Because yes, the pen is still mightier than the sword. This has been Peter McDonald for DNN.
Huh. I'll say one thing for the guy. At least his misreporting is consistent.
As long as the city is safe, who cares?
You should be able to go ahead now.
Okay, well, like I said, he put dramatic pause notes in there, so that was a huge dramatic pause. But it says, congrats on surpassing last year's SGDQ total. Put this $100 towards Ivan's glitched
Did you get in
80%
touch
run
with
of
the
Super
resistance?
Metroid. Thank you,
No,
Eric.
Still no word. Maybe he was captured by coup d'etat forces.
No, he'd never let that happen. I'm sure he's out there waiting to make his move. I must see him. I made him a promise.
Oh, Mr. President.
I'm off to the next battlefront.
All right, time for Texas.
The enemy army has dried up the nation's resources and put the people on a rationing system to construct the spaceplane launch and landing base in Houston. Act swiftly as paratrooper reinforcements are predicted to be dropped in from Super Assault heavy attack helicopters that defend the skies and the base. The objective is total destruction of all target areas and the Super Assault heavy attack Olajuwon helicopter. This mission goes by the call name Winner Takes All, Olajuwon versus Metal Wolf. Good luck and Godspeed, Mr. President.
All right.
Yep.
Are you gonna buy some new stuff soon, or are you done buying weapons?
I will after this mission.
This is DNN's Peter McDonald reporting. I'm coming to you live today from a U.S. military base in the outskirts of Houston, Texas. Scarce natural resources sent from the Spaceplane Center are collected and kept here. The U.S. military is collectively managing these goods under martial law. Acting as the defense for this area is this Super Assault Heavy Attack Elijah 1 helicopter. Take a look at this firepower. 44mm M197 anti-aircraft guns, 80mm Bofors anti-aircraft cannons, 2 10mm grenade launchers, and finally, 12 missile containers. In addition to this heavy arsenal, it has the capacity to hold over 100 soldiers. A veritable flying fortress. As long as the Elijah 1 is on the scene, Metal won't get off so easily.
Pretty sure that makes
Hey, Mr. Newsman! You rang?
Wow. The Elijah 1 appears to be dropping parachute troops from its cargo bay. It'll be trouble when those reinforcements land. Destroy the target areas while shooting down the enemy dropping into the battle.
Those must be some new kinds of weapons. They're being dropped one after another from the Elijah 1. Metal Wolf will have no choice but to deal with this firepower.
Oh, I have lots of choices.
And I have $50 from Skydragon, who says, as promised, take your freedom bucks. All the money for acting out the opera! So we will act out that opera locally. This is one of the donation incentives coming up for Final Fantasy VI. A couple other donation incentives, Pokemon Snap. You can donate to do a bonus game. And Metroid Prime 1 versus Metroid Prime 2 Bid War. So if you'd prefer to see one or the other, get your donations in now.
The performance of the smart bomb seems to have fallen off. If there's no guidance device, it's flying blind.
I won't help.
You should knock out the launch bay doors that drop the bombs. First, start by reducing the strong attack.
Still have no idea what that sentence is supposed to mean.
Yep. The Joshinator was going to wait to the Metroid block to donate $20, but Richard has convinced him otherwise. So keep fighting for freedom, Murph.
The U.S. ground forces have been totally decimated by the hand of Metal Wolf. But we still have the Speed Ace up our sleeve. That trump card being the Super Assault Heavy Attack Elijah 1 helicopter.
I'm not sure in what way it's a speed ace, but we'll go with it. So, counterintuitively, the best way to fight this thing is with the cluster bombs. I don't know why they do this much damage to him.
Wow. The Elijah 1 fuselage has been damaged, but the Elijah 1 was designed to withstand damage from 155mm anti-aircraft cannons. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. Hang tough, Elijah 1. Damage to the Elijah 1 has become intense. What's this? The Super Assault Elijah 1 helicopter.
Yep. Impressive.
The helicopter the military said could never be shot down. This aerial fortress has been destroyed by one single foe dressed in mobile attack armor. But I will never give up hope, and hope will never yield to violence. I believe in American justice, and my journalistic convictions. Because yes, the pen is still mightier than the sword. This has been Peter McDonald for DNA.
Hey, Mr. Journalist! Take a good long look. I think it's time for a new pen.
Sick.
So it's like the
Sick
worst comeback.
burns.
Wow.
So has this been accurate to your experience in the US, MV?
It's very much like I'm very I admire the Japanese developers for capturing America so
Jody,
well.
what's the situation on the ground across America?
Cruel oppression of U.S. citizens still continues all over the nation.
I guess neither of us will see any time off soon. I'm off to the next battle zone.
Yes, Mr. President.
Did you check what other things the voice actors?
The enemy force
made
sends out
after
over
that?
1,000 citizens a day from Miami, trafficking them
Probably
into
for the
overseas
best.
white slavery. The command cruiser moored on the coast directs troops in the Atlantic. It has long-range, high-powered missiles on board. Stay on constant guard. Many helicopters join the defense. Concentrate your attacks on intercepting these cannonballs. The objective is the destruction of all target areas and the command cruiser. This mission goes by the call name... A lovely and clear sea once more. Good luck. Godspeed, Mr. President.
Yeah. All right, so we've been building up money the whole game, and we're going to spend a whole lot of it. There's a whole lot of weapons in this game that are kind of okay, some that are pretty good, and most of it's based on how deep into the tech tree you go. That's enough. So this, so we're going to buy the GGRH.
DG.
Which actually stands for Gatling Gun Richard Hart, but, you know. Yeah. It's a pretty insane weapon. But we gotta rescue Miami. There's a ship there. There's some other targets, but we're gonna ignore them.
Enemy forces occupy Miami Beach. That battle cruiser is the command ship, directing the Atlantic Ocean troops in this area. Attack the cruiser and the coup d'etat forces, leisurely enjoying their holiday. And sink them to the bottom of this grand ocean.
Copy that. For their sakes, I hope they enjoyed their last R&R.
So cold.
The Navy cruiser will fire powerful long-range missiles. You'll need constant warning, Mr. President. Bombers are approaching. Be on alert.
Pretty fitting music.
Yeah, the jazzy.
Yeah.
I really like this game
The bomber
soundtrack.
group seems to have received a request
Yeah,
from the
that's really
target
nice.
area and is on their way. The bombing will be dangerous. Whoa! That didn't surprise me one bit. Long-range missiles are approaching. Watch out for aerial attacks.
That's far enough, Metal Wolf.
That voice, is that the Eagle of the Atlantic, Brigadier General Robert Forrester?
Your former commander.
Metal Wolf, I don't know what you're up to. or who is inside of there. But I can tell you this. You're public enemy number one.
Going head-to-head with this kind of firepower isn't the smart way. Start by crushing the gun batteries.
Not the smart way, you say. We're just gonna land on this little boat here and let the Gatling gun do its work.
Sectors 1 through 5 are flooded. Repair crew, get on the scene.
All right, good boss.
Sailors,
Wow.
abandon your post. Hurry and escape. Grab any wounded and run.
General, you run away too!
We military men will never be cowardly lambs. We're brave lions until the end. Now carry out your duty. Carry out your own justice.
Mr. President, the battle cruiser has sunk. Now the beach will be crowded with vacationers once again.
Yeah, for those who survived.
Great going, Mr. President.
I love this game
Yeah.
so much. So much.
What's the pulse of the nation say about all this?
Citizens have already begun to wake up to the Vice President's evil intentions. They couldn't stage a revolt in time.
Just the thought of a revolt is enough. I'll take back the nation soon. Full speed ahead!
I'm with you all the way, Mr. President.
Alright, so we got our last mission in the east.
The enemy force experiments on the people of New York with unmanned super weaponry. It treats the 8 million citizens who run about trying to escape like guinea pigs. Information has been obtained that energy power stations are supplying the massive weaponry. Before taking the huge weapons head-on, destroy the energy supply facilities. The objective is the destruction of all target areas and the massive arms. This mission goes by the call name Operation We Love NYC.
Alright, so this is by a significant margin the most dangerous mission in the game. I'm going to attempt the dangerous threat once before completing it more or less the intended way, but there's a very, very high chance that I die doing this. It's probably like 30% success
Enemy
rate.
forces occupy New York City. The coup d'etat forces are experimenting with an unmanned super weapon to suppress the townspeople. Destroy the target areas along with the super weapon.
Talk about massive arms. What is that? Carnival ride?
Ooh, hello. How's life treating you? Richard. What do you think of my cute little pet? Thanks to him, the people of New York City are right now festively running around and trying to escape. It's like a big old carnival. It's like Mardi Gras in New York or something. You are a sick... Take a bite from its super energy wave phaser. It'll get you high enough to reach heaven. Richard! Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Never gets old.
Never. Alright, so the problem with fighting this thing this way is you're not really intended to be able to damage it until you've destroyed a few buildings that are in this mission that are providing it shield power. And in addition to that, it has this big laser that it likes to fire that will kill me if it hits me. The cluster bombs, there we go. So yeah, that's why this mission is very dangerous. But fortunately, we can just retry. The laser, it can, even though it can only target you in front, as soon as it's targeted you, it will fire directly at you no matter where you've gone relative to him. And that includes if you're like through a building or completely to the side of him. It makes for some interesting shots. But anyway, I'm going to go over here and destroy a few buildings so they can't shoot that anymore. And then we'll fight.
Good time for donations then?
Yeah, now would be a good time.
Alrighty. Daniel Hughes sends $50. It says, keep up the good work, guys. SGDQ proves that video games can be a force for good. Let's see, Niels de Jong sends $10. Says, as a Belgian viewer, this is teaching me so much about the intricacies of U.S. politics. Thanks for speedrunning this documentary and rekindling the American soul I never knew I possessed. You're welcome, Niels, and thanks for your donation. Chris Waite sends $20 and says, I'm from Florida and I demand a recount. Now I'm off to get ice for my burn.
Square being remodeled like this, they must be out of their minds. Let's destroy it and weaken Daddy Longlegs.
Gemini sends $15. I'm not even American, but Metal Wolf Chaos makes me want to grab some instant noodles to make me feel just like a real American, full of true justice. Thank you, Tobias. John Bell sends $25. I keep hearing Independence Day 2 is being rewritten. Now I can only assume it's because Metal Wolf Chaos stole their plot. Thanks for showing off this masterpiece in the marathon and keep up the great speedruns. Thank you, John.
The energy fill station has been annihilated. Now Daddy Longlegs can't fire his phasers anymore. There's no need to evade his moves. Time for a counteroffensive. Mr. President, there are 5 areas remaining.
And as a reminder, the donations are all going directly to Doctors Without Borders, an international medical humanitarian organization created by doctors and journalists in France in 1971. Today, Doctors Without Borders provides independent impulsional assistance to more than 60 countries to people whose survival is threatened by violence, neglect, or catastrophe, primarily due to armed conflict, epidemics, malnutrition, exclusion from healthcare, or natural disasters. In 1999, Doctors Without Borders received the Nobel Peace Prize for their efforts.
What a show! This is more spectacular than a Broadway musical. The enemy has been destroyed. Manhattan will soon be back to its glorious hustle and bustle.
Yeah, New York City is, and always was, built to last. Right, Jody?
Of course, Mr. President.
I'm fairly sure that's not New York City's motto.
The enemy force in the east also started withdrawing.
Did they?
It sure has been a long road to victory.
Yes, it has.
All that remains is your home.
The White House.
Mr. President, when this battle is over, I'm taking a paid vacation. I haven't seen my parents for a while, and you know how it is.
That's fine with me.
I can't wait.
Last stop, Washington, D.C.
Yes, Mr. President. The Information Management Department just contacted me. The coup d'etat forces are making an announcement on national television.
All right.
Dear fellow Americans, good evening. This is an announcement from the Government Policy Promotion Department, where the password is No More Metal Wolf.
Heck of a
Metal
password.
Wolf, who escaped from military custody through cruel trickery, continues to agitate various parts of the country. Sympathizers to these acts appear to be on the rise. As an American, this is most regrettable. Please try to remember the names and faces of any of the ringleaders who instigated this terrorism. A heart of justice is a heart that loves America. Surrender now, while your crimes are still not so serious. But if you refuse surrender, based on Article 48, Clause 4 in the newly enacted U.S. Constitution, Metal Wolf sympathizers and/or any blood relatives removed 4 times or less, as well as schoolmates in all educational institutions, such as high schools and universities, as well as any co-workers or associates, or any and all related people, a public execution will be carried. So, to any terrorist sympathizers, if an ounce of justice still remains in you, give up on that man and surrender by 5 p.m. today. This is our final ultimatum. This has been an announcement from the Government Policy Promotion Department, where the password is, We Love Richard Hawk.
It's okay, Mr. B. I'll be there for your public execution.
I want to get killed in that. This is amazing.
Richard!
Poor Michael. Left all by your lonesome.
Richard! What changed you?
Michael, America has gotten too fat for her own good. These incapable pigs are eating this nation alive. The death of these freeloaders, leaving only the capable behind, will help me create a new nation.
Richard, you...
Oh, and Michael, I forgot to tell you, but your presidential staff, those backstabbing idiots, well, I've decided they can die too. You! If you want to help those pigs, come to Liberty Island and watch those worms wiggle in vain. See you when I see you, Richard!
All right. I'll head to Liberty Island to rescue my men. And the reason is because I'm the president of this great United States of America.
Good reason.
I agree.
Freebie sends $20, says, America! Murph's Choice.
Mr. President, why did you come to save us after we betrayed you?
Jody, I can't turn my back on a friend. And the reason is, I'm the President of the United States.
Mr. President, don't come near. It's a trap.
Hey there, Michael. Are you still playing the hero?
Richard!
You just don't get it, do you? Freedom is dead. You and your men and this symbol of freedom will all perish.
So this mission is... the entire mission is to blow up this tank.
Go ahead and cock your weapons. If I direct these missiles behind me, that goddess of liberty... Round 2! This wild dog of war is on the move, Michael. He'll bite you if you don't move it. Now, hightail it out of here. Oh, I almost forgot. Time for my afternoon tea. Nothing like sipping some delicious Darjeeling tea. And watching you getting your clock cleaned.
It's a pretty nice actor. Yeah, this mission's pretty tough if you don't have one of a couple specific weapons. These cluster bombs being one of them.
Apaches.
Not just Apaches. Mr. President.
We are freedom.
You're alive!
Us resistance soldiers are known for our resilience.
Time for donations.
He'll be out of moves soon.
Not quite.
Okay.
But
Next mission.
kill a... We're fine, Mr. President. Thorough knowledge of how to escape. But our helicopters are limited. Be careful.
Yeah, they physically shield the...
Nice shooting, Mr. President. But
helicopters. Pretty great. But, you know, we're good.
Whatever.
Hashtag whatever.
I don't know.
Right.
All right.
I'm ready for the scrap.
Yeah.
Mr. President, my boys were successful in saving your princess. I'll connect you.
Mr. President? How can I ever...
Jody,
Yes?
sorry to be late.
Mr. President,
From the skies above Liberty Island, this is DNN's Peter McDonald reporting. To viewers in America, make that the world. Did you witness the truth reported to you live on DNN? Did you witness Vice President Richard Hawk's dreadful nature revealed? As I have been stressing all along, Metal Wolf was the truly righteous one. While I may have doubted you, I always believed in you. Thank you, Metal Wolf, and thank you, Michael Wilson.
Whatever.
Hashtag whatever.
And 15-year-old empathetic teenager. Whatever.
Mr. President,
Jody,
Yes, what is it, Mr. President?
you sure you don't need any more time off?
Oh, yes, Mr. President, I've had enough.
Now time to take back the last piece of ground.
Of course. You know where that is.
The White House!
All right, so we got Jody back, so she's going to give us another lovely mission description.
The enemy seems to be concentrating their power around the White House. An overwhelming number of defense forces, unlike any yet seen, are predicted to be on hand. The shape of this underground base is highly complicated. There is a strong possibility that the target area is closely coordinated, skillfully attacked to prevent reinforcements and coordination between target areas. This is the granddaddy battle of them all. Annihilate the target areas and take back your White House, sir. This mission goes by the call name... I'm Home, Operation White House. Good luck and Godspeed, Mr. President.
She's not even trying.
No, she gave up. She got your hopes up, and then she's like, nope, no more. All right, so this mission is another destroy all the targets thing. There's not even really any consequences or cutscenes of consequence in the first half, so it'll be a pretty good time to catch up on donations.
All right, sounds good.
Over the color.
Do we have a visual? Almost. Cut the phone.
Yes, sir. Just get tapped in.
Let's party! Good to be home.
Alrighty, I've got $100 from Evind Ersland.
The
I'm sorry if I butchered your
above-ground
name
route
there.
has been sealed off.
It says, came for the game, stayed for the smoother
But if you
voice of the
take back
announcer.
the
Best announcer
underground
NA.
base,
Thank you very
the
much,
enemy will
and thank you for the
surrender
donation as
and
well.
Open the barrier.
I also have $100 from
Now
Widow.
aim for
Says,
the
I had to
target
donate
areas.
again during this lovely game. I can feel the freedom, apple pie, and
get out
justice
there and
flowing through
rock
my
their
veins. It reminds me of my first Eagle Day and should be a standard for all patriotic Americans to follow on their Eagle Days. Explosions, destruction, amazing voice acting are staples for our society. Oh yeah, Doctors Without Borders is pretty cool too. Thanks very much, Widow. We appreciate it. Mickey sends $20 and says, God save the president. So Murph God's looking out for you. Thank you, Mickey. Samir Arufai, and I'm real sorry if I butchered that one as well. It says, sends $50, says, greetings from France. Love what you're doing. Looking forward to more awesome games. Thank you, Samir.
Mr. President, control of all the energy guns in the underground base has stopped. This target area seems to have powered the energy guns. Gas is being released. Let's destroy the targets releasing the poisonous gas before the density reaches 181 ppm.
Come Through Jesus sends $50 and says, whatever. Gogafite sends $50, says, you guys are awesome and thanks for putting on such an amazing event. Thank you, Gogafite.
3 target areas remain. Which do you want to destroy next? Mr. President, the poisonous gas has been stopped completely due to the target areas being eliminated.
Call Me Rick 3 sends $10 and says, even though I'm French, I knew that one day my dream would be to become President of the United States. Thank you, Call Me Rick. $40 from Samuel Riviere, who says, as per chat, I'd like to ask the room to do either or both of 1, recite the Pledge of Allegiance, or 2, yell thanks Obama at the next big explosion. Y'all show us. Inko sends $60 and says, great player for a great cause. I couldn't find a better way to spend my money. I really wish to see Verdier beat Mr. MV with Morinpool in the Pokemon run.
Mr. President, you are experiencing radar trouble. You can't move carelessly about until the radar jamming station is destroyed.
Peter O sends 15 and says, wow, this is making me feel wonderful. Thank God for funny things, and thank you for this. You know, funny things is the most important, inexhaustible resource we have in this world. When there's absolutely nothing else, there will always be funny things. How comforting. Thank you, Peter. Just a reminder, you are watching Summer Games Done Quick 2012. Charity event put on by Speed Demos Archives, the premier community for video game speedruns. Things are happening. Hold on.
Easy to detect. The enemies has really decreased. There's one last target area.
2012, yes. Sorry, time warp. All I see is a giant Xbox in front of me, and I'm like, oh, that's my childhood all over again. Hey, 2014, sorry about that. 14. Yeah, it's Charity Marathon benefiting Doctors Without Borders, an international medical humanitarian organization created by doctors and journalists in France in 1971. It's put in by Speed Demos Archives, the premier video game community for speedruns, completing games as quickly as possible through extensive planning, practice, and knowledge, game mechanics, and glitches. It's also helped put on by Speedruns Live, best site to race video games online against others. Players of all skill levels are welcome to join, whether you'd like to become competitive or just race casually with friends.
Well, we're getting to,
Well, I've got one last one then. Louis Hero just sends $10, says, I donated $10 earlier to ensure Metal Wolf Chaos be played. Best $10 I've ever spent. Here's another 10. Thank you, SGDQ, and thanks to Murph for the run.
You bet. Alright, so this is pretty fabulous remodeling coming up.
What's this? Were we lured out? Who did that to the White House? They shouldn't call it the White House. They should call it the Fight House.
Time to redecorate. Fast and to the point.
Yes.
Mr. President, tear off that unsightly armored exterior.
Alright, so this thing, you have to blow up all these turrets, and they kind of hide from you. But the collision detection isn't very good, so you can just shoot through the armor plating.
The White House spring cleaning is coming along nicely. The White House is almost back to its handsome self again. Mr. President, let's finish this.
Yeah, you can destroy the White House and lose this mission. Actually, it's pretty easy to do that. Like, I did half a tell, but I never even actually did it.
You're home at long last.
And here to stay. I'm back, America.
Okay, so we've rescued the entire United States. Good job, us. Unfortunately, Richard's still on the loose, so we kind of have to take
Now
care of
you've
that.
recaptured all of America.
Yes, but Richard has disappeared.
The Special Intelligence Department is investigating, but
Metal Wolf, the Vice President is in Las Vegas.
Really?
Nobody rivals our intelligence gathering abilities. Head for Las Vegas with me.
Well, not just me. Everyone in the Resistance will be rivaling support around the country.
I know how you feel.
Thanks.
Mr. President, good luck. And
Jody, prepare Air Force One for takeoff. We're heading to Las Vegas.
yes, Mr. President.
Good plan. All right. So I'm gonna buy a little bit more weaponry. I'm actually
The
gonna
Vice
buy.
President Richard Hawk waits for you in Las Vegas.
I'm actually gonna buy copies of stuff I already have.
My only advice to you is this. This mission goes by the call name. Good luck and Godspeed, Mr. President.
She just gave up.
I think she forgot the she forgot the mission title.
Yeah.
He was on vacation for too long.
She sequence broke to the good luck wishes.
So unfortunately, these menus have to load the model every time you go through stuff, so it takes a while to go through it, even though it really should. I actually... I move the menu around because I want to have the Gatling guns available right at the start. Otherwise, the first little bit is a bit obnoxious. Doesn't make a huge difference since it's pretty easy to switch out. Plus, his guns quick.
Richard, come out!
Great.
Oh, Michael, you're so sweet. And for that, I owe you. You canceled all my dreams and plans. So now I've got a nice little present for you. Here. Let me ask you one last thing. What do you want on your tombstone? What do you want it to say, huh, Michael?
Alright, so you get to fight the first two bosses again. Dorsey chose a rather unfortunate place to start the fight.
Tried so hard.
You showed him who's boss, Mr. President.
Yeah, these Gatling guns are pretty special.
Bravo, Michael. What lovely footwork. Richard! Now try dancing with me. This show's gonna run all night.
Okay, so Richard Hawk has 3 phases, each of which takes part in a different place in this building. He's pretty random in how he behaves, and he's pretty dangerous because all of his guns are on the scale of power of the Gatling guns that I'm using. Hopefully he'll get stun locked, but he can do a lot of real nasty things if he decides to. It could also cause a whole bunch of lag if he decides to hang out in all the slot machines and blow them up, because they generate a whole lot of models.
Murph, let me know when it's clear for donations. I can get a bunch of them.
Sweet, sweet. Oh, you are so sweet, Michael. Like gulping a cup of condensed milk. Think you can kill me, huh?
You can probably
He's
do like
on
1
the
or 2
move.
right now.
Chase
There's not
after
really
him,
a lot of
Mr.
great
President.
places to transmission.
All right, sounds good. I got $10 from Cup of Coffee who says, let's see, we have Kiwi Jones sends $10 and says, "My
you can run, but you
cutscene.
can't hide.
Interrupted. There you go. Thank you, Richard. Thank you. Let the professional do that.
Coward! Coward!
Michael! You gonna complain?
He's a coward. I can't win. Or are you a chicken?
Alright, now will be another good
Knock
chance for
that
one.
jerk off the roof. Show him who'll have the last laugh.
So QB Jones sent $10 and says, "My American soul wants this to go to whatever incentive will do the most justice." Thank you, QB.
You break it, you bought it, Michael. You'll pay for the damages with your life. Now, Michael. Shall I take you to the next stage?
Got one more.
He's on the move
Kind
again.
of stuff.
Chase after him, Mr. President.
Anti-Valava sends 35 and says, "If they don't start airing speed runs of Metal Wolf Chaos across all the U.S. television channels, I'll officially say goodbye, goodbye, goodbye to this freaking hated planet." We got a pretty large one. I've got a nice little donation for you. Da Chen sends $500.
Lovely,
I've been
Michael?
watching on and off and knew I had to make sure that everyone gets to experience
Doesn't
the
knowing
awesomeness
that
of
it all
subbing.
ends here kind of get your adrenaline going?
$500 to suplex all the things.
Richard!
Michael! We've got to stop. It ends here.
So the last phase is the most dangerous. Not only do I have a much more limited number of things that I can attack from, but he also has a scripted attack that he's going to do here, which he's completely invincible, and if he hits me, it will kill me instantly.
Nice one, Michael. Take it and die. And take it weak, pathetic. Kill
That won't affect you, Miss.
It's over, Richard.
That was really close.
Like hell it is.
That's the space shuttle.
What?
You can't chase after that. Hey, Mr. President. Mr. President? Mr. President! That's pointless, Mr. President.
Nothing is pointless. And the reason is because I'm the president of the United States of America.
Mr. President!
Never.
Jody, I'm gonna step out into outer space. See you soon.
All right. So we've defeated Richard in New York, and he's retreating to outer space. Doesn't get much better.
President, are you all right?
Yes, and very pleased about my first flight in space. But I just wish I'd brought my camera.
Mr. President, be sure and come back now. The American people are waiting for you.
I am the president of the United States of America. I'll be back. Please continue to update me as the battle goes on.
Sure, leave it to me.
Oh, and contact the Japanese embassy. Tell them we can hold that wildlife protection conference.
Yeah, if you've been paying attention since the beginning, we're
At the
we're
very
fine with that.
beginning,
Yep.
yeah.
The Vice President has fortified the U.S.'s state-of-the-art space colony. He has concentrated an army of elite soldiers there with the plan to invade America from space. Knowing the Vice President's sinister nature, I predict he has some unexpected trump card up his sleeve. But Mr. President, you must be victorious at all costs. The reason is because you're the president of the United States.
Just in case you forgot.
This mission goes by the call name.
Come on, Jody.
Believe in your own justice.
You had way too much faith in Jody.
Mr. President.
All right. So we got one cutscene, and then there'll be an elevator. That'll be your last chance to really read stuff.
Sounds good.
Richard!
Chasing 15 million feet after me. Now that's love. Well, I love you too, Michael. I love you so much. I can't stand it. So much. I want to kill you.
Hold it, Richard!
Mr. President, hurry up now.
Not for long. Take a long last look at the 200 billion stars in the Milky Way. Of all man's achievements in the 21st century, this is the climax.
That whole series of things makes no sense.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, this is your last
Alrighty, then I've got $50 from Victor Kowski, who says, USA! 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 Money goes to Final Fantasy VI 100%. Remy Span sends $11, says donating because the current donation announcer has the best voice ever. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Very kind of you. He should stay up for the rest of the marathon. Who needs sleep anyway? Whatever. Jesse 2 sends $20, says another year, another game's done quick, and people continue to be awesome. Keep it up, save the animals. Lucas P sends $40 our way and says, this is the first time I've seen Metal Wolf Chaos gameplay. I'm glad to see it exceeds the hype. P.S. You guys are great. Keep up the good work, and I'll be looking forward to future marathons. And as a reminder, all money that is donated to the marathon goes directly to Doctors Without Borders. Let's see, $10 from Fingers to Hand, who says, I'm Scottish, and what is this? Never felt so American in my life. Whatever. Oh, brilliant marathon so far. Good luck to all the runners. You all deserve a pat on the back for organizing such an awesome event for a good cause. $10 towards the Smash Brothers Melee Finals. Octodad for Smash Brothers 4. Smash Brothers? You know, whatever. Whatever. Let's see. Okay. J-Girl says, for America! Shout out to my boyfriend and gaming senpai, Casual 4K of Casual Core Podcast, for introducing me to Metal Wolf Chaos and GDQ. Been obsessing over GDQ since last Sunday and watching whenever not at work. Who needs sleep? Great job, everyone. Thank you, J-Girl. And Yasupen sends $10. Says, I hope this donation can help Doctors Without Borders bring some medicine to the world with a side of freedom. Thank you very much, everybody, for donating. Like I said, your donations go directly to Doctors Without Borders. Much like Nathan Ross's donation, $20. $20 for freedom. Everybody loves freedom. And Elsa sends $15. Says, I might have been born in the cold and dark of Scandinavia, but my heart burns strongly for the land of freedom. Shoutouts to the QuakeNet IRC and Monitor Senpai.
Okay. Been a very exciting trip.
That it has.
Richard!
What do you stand for, Michael? Be certain now. As certain as the blood gushing out of your nose when I bash it in. Be certain of your death here and now. Now, come at me with all your body and soul. I'll hug you to death.
Seems legit.
Really think you can't get better.
Yeah. So this boss is very similar to the boss in New York, and then he's got a bunch of shields, and then he's got a big laser that just kills you instantly, and a bunch of other bad things. But the stage design here was not very well thought through.
But
I skipped his entire first phase somehow.
Now it's time for my wild card. Stop shaking in your heels, senorita, and fight like a man. And now for the finale.
Cars actually shared between his phases, but yeah, this entire fight is kind of trivialized by this wall. Like, fighting this the intended way, even if you have all the upgrades, it's a pretty intense fight. It causes a lot of lag, so being able to do this and shooting is still faster than a good fight would be.
Never, never, never!
One last trip.
I'll never lose to you, Michael!
Mr. President, hurry and destroy it.
Alright, so we're just gonna use our super attack. Yeah. Wow. You can go ahead this time. Okay.
Time is America.
The President of the United States of America.
Whatever. Alright, but we do have at least one more cutscene that I think is pretty important to watch.
At that speed and angle, he'll burn up like a shooting star.
I'm going in!
Impossible! Not even you can possibly stop a shooting star!
Jody, who am I? I'm the president! I always make the impossible possible, and I'm gonna keep on doing so!
I like how he has in English.
Yeah.
Richard, it was your methods that were flawed. Our love for America won't change.
Richard! This is one eternal flame with your justice!
Mr. President! You've exceeded the critical point. There's no way out! Mr. President? Mr. President? Come on, Mr. President!
No problem.
I paid a lot for those guns.
I'm coming home. Jody! Tomorrow's gonna be another busy day at the White House.
It sure is.
Alright, well, there's nothing particularly of note in the staff credits, so we'll go ahead and pass that because it's like 5 or 10 minutes long.
My fellow Americans, good morning. As Americans, we love freedom. But true freedom isn't a given like the air we breathe or the water we drink. About 240 years ago, our forefathers fought greatly, giving their blood, sweat, and tears. And in the end, they won our freedom. And we must never forget this. If anything appears that threatens our belief in this freedom, we will oppose it. We will crush it. In fighting to gain our freedom, we need no reasons. We require no just cause or flowery words. In order to protect our neighbors who love freedom and this faith in freedom, we continue to believe in our own justice. We won't abandon any battles. And the reason is because we are all citizens of the United States of America. And as long as you all will allow it, I will be a vanguard leading this fight. And the reason is because I'm the president of this great United States of America.
Metal Wolf Chaos, everybody.
All right.
Are
we?
Show off some of the bonus weapons?
I'll show off what I
yes.
have. I don't have very much.
They're pretty good.
They're pretty special. All right, so there's actually a lot of post-game content in this, and unfortunately you have to unlock it. But I have most of the good things unlocked on another file. Don't have some of the best things, but that's okay. Where should we go from there?
The enemy force is strengthening the... Well, good luck.
So yeah, there's expanded difficulty levels. They also give you the ability to pick custom paint jobs. And this is...
Murph, I've watched you stream this game a dozen times,
So-
and I've never seen this again. This is amazing.
There's also some extra weapons, like the shotgun that shoots confetti and dollars. There's this bubble launcher. There is a rocket launcher that shoots sharks, but I don't have that one unlocked. There's this thing that shoots laser swords, which is pretty cool. But my personal favorite would be the AFB, the American Football Launcher.
Surely show up on radar.
So yeah, that's about the level they're at. So thanks everybody. I am very pleased with this, and I hope you all
Finally,
enjoyed.
the bombs are showing up on radar.
exhausted, but loved it.
Alrighty, y'all. You just watched Murphigator, the president of these great United States of America, play Metal Wolf Chaos. And we're going to take a short break. We will be right back with more of Summer Games Done Quick 2012. Or 2014. Ah, gotcha! Whatever. We'll see y'all next time. Here's my friend.